Hola everyone, welcome to Flexibility Script. This video is going to be going into some shoulder exercises specifically to address the mobility of the shoulder. There's a couple of exercises that can be done to help address both shoulder internal rotation and external rotation. And even if you don't have a lot of range of motion, these exercises will help work on improving what you have and increasing it and maintaining strength through those ranges of motions as well. So they're in essence these bit of rotations that we're going to be going into. This very first one, the arms can stay down at your side, your arms stay nice and straight, and you're going to be trying to get that shoulder blade to move forward. You're going to try to move it forward and back, elevate and depress it, all without letting your head get involved and without letting your rib cage get involved as well. Goal is to kind of keep rib cage down, create some tension in your body and your system to kind of try to hold yourself still and make the shoulder do the work. Really great simple exercise to do too if you're at work and you're just in a position where you're just really not moving much, like let's say you're just sitting still at a computer typing. It's nice to take work breaks and really do things that address movement and really get you moving, and even as simple as just working on your shoulders is really helpful so that you don't get any shoulder issues due to your actual not using any of your ranges of motion that you just naturally have. So these exercises too are really great for follow-up movement if you've done a banded mobilization, like a banded movement mobilization. There's a book I have, Release Your Flexibility Potential, that really shows some banded mobilizations to address things within the joint capsule to really help improve range of motion. And a lot more than just that, but in essence, one of the key things to keeping range of motion is being able to have access to it and being able to use those new ranges of motions that you've created. And these shoulder exercises are a nice way to just isolate the shoulder and really capture those ranges of motions that you may now have created. And even if you haven't done any mobility work with bands or balls, myofascial releases, you can still just simply do these exercises and have an improvement in range. So to get started, your arms are going to be at your side, and all I'm going to be doing is I'm focusing in on moving my shoulder forward, elevating it up, bringing it back, and then keep it back as I depress it down. Again, forward, up, back, and down. Now it's really simple, but at the same time we're not trying to be nice and loose with it. We're actually going to try to create some tension through that range. So anyway, aim for anywhere between 20 to 50%, almost like you're creating your own tension and kind of fighting yourself and really trying to create some strength within that range of motion. So as I do it, I'm really going to be isolating and trying to almost control myself and control the movement that I'm having come forward. So again, forward, up, retract, and down. So essentially protract, elevate, stay elevated as I retract, and down. From a side view, I'm going forward, up, back, down, and then I'm going to stay back and then come forward, up. So I'm going to go 5 one way. After you're done with 5 one way, switch it and you're going to go reverse it. So we're going to go back the other way, and you're going to focus on first, arms are at your side. I'm going to just retract, elevate, protract, depress. Again, come back, lift, forward, back, up, forward, down. From a back view, I'm going to just try to get my hair out of the way here. So I'm going to turn around so you can see I'm going to be coming forward first, and then I'm going to do the backward one. So from here, I'm thinking forward, up, back, down. Notice that I'm not moving my head and I'm not arching my back at all to help me out. The movement does is shoulders protract, elevate, retract, and down. Forward, up, back, down. And I'm going to reverse that. So I'm going to retract, lift, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. Sometimes what I like to do at the end is just try to create as much of a smooth circle as possible. I always start with trying to isolate it. That way I'm really aware that I'm actually going into fully protracting and fully retracting. So that's number one. Number two essentially is the same exact thing, except I'm going to be having my arms out at like a 45 degrees. So instead of them being right in front, I'm just opening out slightly, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. So instead of right in front, open out, and I'm going to come forward, elevate, retract, and back. Forward, up, back. Go 5 one way, then you'll switch and do 5 the other. So going back, I'm retracting, elevating, protracting, depressing. Back, up, forward, down. From a side view, and I'm not forward, but a little bit out of 45, I'm going to reach forward, elevate, retract, depress. Forward, up, back, down. Reversing it, 5 one way, 5 the other. I'm going to retract, lift, forward, down, back, stay squeezing as I lift up, protract, reach forward, and depress. From a back view so you can see it, I'm at 45, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. If I reverse it, I'm going to go reverse first. So 5 one way, 5 the other again. Back, up, forward, down. Now as I do this, I do feel some limitations, like one shoulder can do it much more easily than the other. And I just keep trying to keep this mind and body connection where I'm really trying to think as much as I can about really pinning them both back, elevating them both up together, coming forward and down, back, up, forward, down. And I can end up smoothing it out in both directions. The whole time I'm working on really keeping my arms still. So I'm kind of creating some tension through because I want to make sure that as I do it, that I'm not letting my elbow help me out, and that I'm really focused on just the shoulder. At this point, once you've done like 5 with arms at side, forward and back, 5 with arms at a 45, both forward and back, and really focus on that slow, controlled, you should feel some warmth within the capsule itself, along with feeling a bit more mobile. The last part is a little trickier. It involves this circular rotation. So when I go in a circle, my goal is going to be to have the arm right next to the ear and trying to circle back, and then reversing it the other way around. But as I do this, I want to make sure that I don't let my body move, and that everything comes from the shoulder. Now, if for some reason some things do want to move with you, just be aware of them, and sometimes practicing this in front of the mirror is really helpful because it gives you some feedback that you may not be able to feel unless you see it and you're like, oh wow, every time I lift up this happens, or every time I try to open back I'm actually rotating. Sometimes that mirror gives you some good feedback to help correct your form and be able to make sure that you're really just working your shoulder. So this motion, I'm going to be starting with my arm is going to be at my side, and I'm going to be lifting my arm up. As I lift my arm up, my thumb is pointing up. I'm going to be coming up, and once I get to that back point, I'm going to rotate, 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 and I'm going to be coming back so that my thumb is at my side. So I'm going to scoot back just a little bit so you can see. Alright, so I'm here, and this is my hand here. I'm going to move back just a bit further. You know what? And it come right back, and then push this away so that way you can be able to see the whole range of the way my arm moves all throughout it. The whole time I'm really seeking on not moving, so sometimes I place one hand like on my rib cage and on my pelvis just for that awareness. So I'm going to demonstrate from the side view. So from here, I'm maintaining some tension through my abdomen and my hips, and this arm has got a thumb up. arm stays straight, and all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing this arm up. Arm comes up right next to my ear. Once I find that end point, I'm going to find this point where it's like, ooh, I can't go back any further. Everyone will find it's usually right around this point here. I'm going to start rotating, and I keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating as I try to make as big of a circle as I can. When I come down, my thumb is pointed back, so it's in that position. And so again, once I'm here, I'm going to reverse it, and thumb comes back. Once I get to this end point where it's like, ooh, I can't go any further, that's when I'm going to start rotating, and I keep rotating, 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 rotating till I make this full circle. So again, repeating again, nice and braced. I'm lifting up, and same thing, 20 to 50% tension as I'm going through. I'm going to find this end point, I'm going to rotate, and I keep rotating as I keep trying to make as big of a circle as possible till the arm comes right up to my side and that thumb is pointed back. Reversing it, I'm coming back. I find that end point, I start rotating, 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 and I'm trying to make this big circle, almost like if there was to be a wall right next to me. It'd be like I would be like clearing a hurdle, and I want to make sure that as I rotate that I'm not coming forward. Now, if there's any pain or limitation in your range of motion, just work with what you have, and that may mean that instead of my arm being right next to my ear and circling back and coming back and around to come down, that maybe I'm out here. That's okay. Keep working with what you have, and maybe your circle is just a little bit smaller, but you're still trying to work through and use that shoulder internal and external rotation and be able to rotate. From a side view, that's a little close-up of the head of the shoulder. I'm coming up, and I'm going to find that end point. I'm going to rotate, 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 and you'll end up seeing that this full rotation happens. And I'm going to keep myself in that rotation, like that thumb is pointing back behind me. It lifts up, and then I rotate, rotate, rotate as I come back. Again, up, find that end point, rotate, 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 rotate as I'm making that circle, and then reverse it, come back, and rotate, 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 rotate. Try to make nice big circles. You can go 5, so going one way and then reversing it, 5 one way, 5 the other, and again, your shoulders should feel nice and warm, along with feeling an improvement in their actual range of motion and mobility. So give all a shot, all safe to do on a daily basis, and all will really work on improving and keeping what you have. So